This is the unsolved story of Evelyn Hernandez and her 5-year-old son, Alex. And honestly, it's one of the most eerie missing persons cases that I've ever heard of. I do need to give a quick trigger warning that we are talking about the disappearance of a young boy, so if that is triggering to you in any way, your mental health matters, please take care of yourself, don't watch this video. Also, like I said, this is an unsolved case, so technically all of this information is alleged, and everything I say in this video is available on the internet. I am just a girl, I am not a lawyer. Evelyn Hernandez was 24 years old, and she was a Salvadorian immigrant and a single mother to her 5-year-old boy named Alex Hernandez. She was also nearly 9 months pregnant with her second child at the time of her disappearance. At the time, the two were living in the Bay Area of California together. She was trying to build a life for herself and for her son, and for the baby she was expecting. She worked hard and she took care of her son, and everyone who knew her described her as a loving and devoted mom. On the evening of May 1st, 2002, Evelyn picked up Alex from school like normal, but that was the last time that anyone ever saw them together. They were supposed to be at home and safe, but hours went by and no one saw them or heard from them. A few days went by and Evelyn's wallet turned up discarded in a gutter miles away in South San Francisco, which immediately raised alarm bells for her family. Evelyn and Alex Hernandez were reported missing by Evelyn's family after they went unaccounted for several days and no one had seen them since the night of May 1st. Her relatives contacted the San Francisco Police Department, prompting an official missing persons report and a full investigation. At the start of the investigation, police realized that this is not going to be a normal missing persons case, because 2 months later, in July of 2002, a pedestrian discovered a body floating in a body of water. But it wasn't a whole body. Police retrieved what they could, and through DNA, they could determine that it was Evelyn. Police only had the torso and legs of Evelyn. However, her head and her arms were missing. Alex, her son, and her unborn child were never to be found. So tragic that a 5-year-old boy with his entire life ahead of him and an unborn baby just vanished. The San Francisco Police Department launched a massive investigation to try to find the rest of her body, as well as trying to locate Alex and figure out how this all happened. But months and then years went by with no leads. Alex was never found, Evelyn's attacker was never identified, and the case went cold. In 2018, the city offered a $100,000 reward for any information that could help police close this case. But still, no one has stepped forward, and no other important information has been learned and released to the public. And one of the things that makes this case so upsetting is that Evelyn and Alex's story did not get nearly enough media attention as it should have. People often compare this case to the Laci Peterson case, which is the story of another pregnant woman going missing in 2002. But Evelyn's case got nowhere near the same amount of coverage, and it really shows how some victims can be overlooked simply by race or background. The reality is that this is still an open case. Evelyn and Alex's story is out there, and it's heartbreaking to think about the little boy who never got to grow up and the baby who never got to be brought into this world, and the mother who just tried to build a beautiful life for her family. The community, law enforcement, and her family are still holding on to hope that one day someone will come forward with information, the information that's been missing for over 20 years. If you see this video and you do have information, please contact the San Francisco Police Department Cold Case Unit. They are still taking tips. Evelyn and Alex deserve justice, and while we may never fully know what happened, we can honor them by keeping their memory alive and continuing to push for information moving forward. That is everything I have on this tragic, still open cold case. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. I post true crime videos, so if you like this type of content, follow so you don't miss my next video, and please stay safe out there because you never know what's right around the corner.